Welcome to this morning movement practice, and we're going to focus a little bit on back bends this morning. Fantastic time to do back bends. Open up the hip flexors a little bit, chest, thoracic spine, the upper spine, and just get the whole body moving in general. So nice punchy little practice. Let's begin in a seated position. And so you're welcome to start cross-legged or kneeling. Both are fantastic. We won't be here for too long. So get as comfy as you can and let's shut down the eyes. Take a nice, long and very deep breath in. Soft and releasing breath out. And just take a moment to create a nice bedrock of stability that we can move forward from. And so here, bringing your attention into your body, enhance sensation, enhance your connection to sensation. But here, starting to soften, relaxing the superficial tension of the body through the face, eyes, jaw, lips, and down into your shoulders, your ribs, your belly. Just a sort of nice open feeling of allowing your breath to feel free in the body. There's no tension being held. There's some activation, muscles are working, you're upright, and yet at the same time you're meeting it with some level of suppleness. Start to focus on your breath. Now we enhance the breath. And so as you start to expand your breath, try and do it as slowly and gently as possible. It's not about getting to the top of the inhale or to the bottom of the exhale, but really guiding the journey of the breath through those movements. Think of the inhale as a movement that starts at the exhale and finishes at the exhale. The breath comes in, it fills up to the top, and the exhale to follow. And likewise, the exhale is bookended by the inhale. Let's see if you can elongate that time it takes to get from the top of the inhale to the bottom of the exhale, top of the inhale. And so we try and keep this infusion of intention in the breath. There's a gentleness, there's a slowness in the activation and the expansiveness. We try and keep this as a gesture for the rest of the body. There's fundamentally a gentleness and a sense of connection with your body through your breath as we start to move. Let's blink open the eyes and roll straight over the knees. Come straight into cat-cow. So as you find tabletop, take an inhale to press the belly down and an exhale to arch and raise up through the spine. And then you carry on. The inhale to press the belly down, and the exhale to arch and raise up through the spine. And then just a couple more rounds by yourself. Really get your tailbone moving to initiate that ripple and arch through the spine. We'll just take one more big round of breath and movement linked together. And then gently up into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift up your hips, and take some movement at least into your first down dog. Head coming back a little, eyes towards the toes, the knees or the thighs. Strong through the shoulders, and just one more big breath here, pushing the ground away. And continue that feeling of push as you walk your hands backwards towards your feet into a nice gentle forward fold. So soften the knees, soften the shoulders, soften the neck. Get some body weight shifting around the feet, forward and back, side to side. We'll just take another breath or two here, short stop. Bend your knees a little deeper. Roll up the spine all the way through standing. Reach up and stretch up nice and high, nice and tall. And then sit the hips into a little bit of a chair pose, a bit of a squat. Belly in, very simple movement. Sweep the arms out and stand all the way up. Again, sit the hips down, weights in the heels as you squat. One more, out and up. This time, as you sit the hips down, a little bit different. Try and lift the heels up off the ground and lower the hips 2 or 3 inches more, so the thighs are going to have to work hard. Now take one more breath. Feel the toes gripping the ground as you reach and stand up. Straighten the legs, but keep the heels lifted. Bunch of little ballerinas up on point here. Belly in, glutes strong. Stretch the body upward for one final breath. And then as you drop your heels, interlace your hands behind your lower back. Roll back the shoulders and fold again. Big bend in the knees. Relax your neck. 2 or 3 more breaths here. Release. 2 hands to the floor. Walk the hands out to plank position. Shoulders above your wrists. Round your upper back as you hit high plank. Drop the tailbone and then lift the hips back up into down dog. 2 more of those. The inhale forward into high plank. Exhale back to dog. Last one. This time find high plank. Now keep your shoulders somewhat above the wrists and start to walk your feet forward, lifting the hips up, but not really moving the shoulders. Keep pushing, walk the feet up, bend the knees if you need. Once you arrive at the top, halfway lift, lengthen out your spine. Exhale to fold again. Stand tall and reach up all the way. Big breath in. Exhale to fold again. Take a halfway lift, flatten out. Step both feet back into plank. Drop your knees and lower the whole body down until you're flat. Chest lifts up one time into cobra. Exhale to lower back down. Now just 3 or 4 more by yourself. The inhale lifting up and the exhale takes you down. Keep your feet pointed, keep your knees straight and roll through your spine. So nudge the edge of intensity, but it's more about repetition than depth here. And we'll just go 1 more big breath, 1 round more. And as your chest comes down, either do a push-up or come back through tabletop and into down dog, and then walking the feet immediately towards the top of the mat. As you get there, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold again. Inhale, stand tall, reach up all the way. Exhale to fold, hands coming down. Halfway lift, and then left foot stepping back. Lower the knee to the floor, raise the chest and arms up, take a big breath in. Now touch the palms if you can, lean back, tuck in your back toes and squeeze the left glute, 1 big breath. And then turn to your right. So left hand forward, right hand back. Keep the left glute tight as you flip the front palm and reach up. Sink the hips a little. Right hand sliding down the thigh. For some of us, you might pick up the back foot. That is strong and we're not that warm. So do be mindful and careful. Just different bodies, different choices. 2 more big breaths. And twist. Release the left elbow around the front knee. Hands come together. Sink the hips and twist a little deeper. And then take your time. Look to the floor. Pick up the back knee. Lift the chest a little. Take 2 more big breaths here. Extended arrowhead. Reach your arms out over the head. Take a big breath in. And as the hands come to the floor, start to straighten through the front leg. Just do it 1 more time. Inhale, lunge and reach. Exhale, hands to the floor and fold. This time, keep the hands down, lunge. Lift your front foot up and out into 3-legged dog. Take a big breath in. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Squeeze it in tight. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Pull it in tight. Inhale, back up. Finally, to the left elbow. Now pause. Kick that leg into fallen triangle. Kick it out to the left. Raise your left hand up. Hold for a breath. Now, a little bit of work here. Big breath in. As your left hand comes down, hug the knee to the chest and flip this into wild thing. Rotate the leg. Turn the hips over. Lift through the back of the heart. Take a big breath more here. We're looking for 1 big step. Right foot to the top right corner of your mat. Lizard lunge and just take a little bit of movement here. Forward and back, some hip circles. You're welcome to drop the back knee, but try and keep just a little bit of range here. So not too deep. We just take another breath or 2. And then gently up into a squat. Left foot outside your left hand. Sit the hips down, chest up. 2 or 3 breaths here. And then as your hands come down, step or jump back into chaturanga to find up dog. And the up dog finds down dog to lift up the hips. And one big breath only. Walk, step, or jump to the top, feet up. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold again. Stand tall. Reach up nice and big. Exhale to fold again. Hands coming down and halfway lift. Right foot stepping back. Lower the knee. Raise the chest and arms up. Palms touch. Set it up for a moment. Squeeze your right glute. Belly in. Chest lifts, but shoulder blades drop. Lean back and take one more big breath. And then turn left. So right hand forward, left hand back. Flip the front palm and reach up. And then let the left hand come down the leg or the hip somewhere. We keep lifting the back of the heart up. And then if it's there, bending the back knee, taking the foot or the shin. Another 2, maybe 3 breaths. Last big breath. And twist. Right elbow around the front knee. Hook it in and sink the hips. Now look to the floor to gently pick up the back knee. We just take another breath or 2. And release. 2 hands to the floor and find a 3-legged dog. Front foot lifts up and out. Take a bend into the knee, lift the hip. And exhale, left knee to left elbow. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Inhale, lift that leg back up. Exhale, knee to your nose, pull it in tight. Inhale, back up, and now finally, fallen triangle. Left knee, right elbow. Kick the leg out to the side and elevate the heart. Push off the back foot hard. One more big breath here. And then bring the right hand to the floor. Hug the knee to your chest and flip it into wild thing. Left hand comes up. Chest turns. Lift the back of the heart. Push through the shoulder. One more big breath. One big step, left foot to the top left corner. Right foot top right corner. Squat. Chest up. Couple of big breaths. Just depending on just how you feel, sort of your experience level, your energy level, all that sort of stuff. Mind level, like where's your mind at? It's early days, but you might think about crow pose here. Hands down. Hips and heels lift. If you think it's too early, it is. If not, all good. Drive the knees up and in. Round your upper back. Shift some body weight forward. Take a breath or 2. And then as you're ready, step or jump back into chaturanga. The inhale into up dog. Exhale to downward facing. Good old downward facing dog. Welcome home. We'll take a breath or 2 more. With an inhale, raise the right leg up towards the ceiling. And exhale, step that foot in between the hands for crescent lunge. Raise your chest and arms up. Now, eagle wrap your right arm underneath the left one. Cross the forearms, cross the hands. And now, secure your pelvis. Left glute on, belly in. Stay planted through the feet. Now, eyes stay facing forward as you start to lift the chest up. Eyes forward, chest up. And then the last moment, lift the gaze. Lunge a little deeper just for one more big breath. As you look forward, unwrap your arms, reach up, warrior 2. Turn the back heel down, open out the arms, extend a little maybe, but flip the front palm and reach up. Straighten through the front leg and reach further. Come back through warrior 2, side angle. Elbow to knee or hand down to the floor. Extended side angle today, so left arm reaching over the head. Keep the chest rotating up towards the ceiling. Keep the back thigh nice and strong and try and bring some level of pleasure into this shape. So if that means backing it off a little bit, just that little reminder of a sense of well-being within it. Last 2 breaths, deep lunge, sink the hips. And as your left hand comes down to the floor, walk the hands down the mat and turn your front foot in so you're in a wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale to halfway lift and just start to bend into one knee and then the other. Shifting your body weight from left to right, side to side. And Another breath or two here. Halfway lift. Turn your left foot back and sink your hips down to the left heel into Skandasana. So as the hips come down, the chest can stay down momentarily, but then sink the hips and lift the chest up. Front foot lifted if you can, down to the last 2 breaths here. Short stop. And then go ahead and walk the hands back to the top of the mat. 3-legged dog, front foot lifting up and out. We're going to take it a little further than what we did before. Come into fallen triangle. Right knee to left elbow. Now, if you can, keep the leg off the floor and raise the left hand up. All good if you need to place it down, but see if it can be up for one more big breath. Similar to before, as the left hand comes down, hug the knee to the chest, flip it into wild thing. Side plank is there as another alternative, but reaching the chest up, lifting, holding. Big breath more here. One big step, right foot between the hands and lower the back knee down. Chest and arms raise up into low lunge. Exhale and twist to your right. So similar to before, left hand forward, right hand back. Now it's going to be a little different. Try and stay steady. Squeeze your left glute nice and tight, belly in. Now, as you lift the back knee, flip the front palm and reach up. Take a big breath in. And as you windmill the hands down to the floor, start to straighten through the front leg and fold. Sink into the back heel. It's a short stop here. Don't worry about the perfection of your stance. Straighten the leg. Feel the hamstring. Soften the shoulders. Take 2 more big breaths. Draw the right hip back for the last big breath. Step up to the top. Feet together. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold forward. Stand tall, reach up all the way. Hands to prayer at heart center. I'm going to give you a little challenge here. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Find that eagle wrap on the arms. Right arm underneath the left one. Wrap them up. Now, belly in and squeeze your right glute so the standing leg feels active. Warrior 3. Send this left leg out the back. Tilt the chest forward. Holding, and we're going to mess with this. So get the legs stiff, belly in, holding. One more breath here. And then unwrap the arms, reach them back like you're flying. T-shape, warrior 3 or Dakasana here, the aeroplane pose. One more big breath. Now we've got a little more work. Let's work the hips. Stand up, hug the knee to the chest, pull it in, hands to prayer. And then point the knee down. Last little thing here in dancer. Turn your left hand out. You got this. 3 breath hold. Kick, lift the chest, lift the back knee. Holding, you're nearly there. One final big breath. And without slingshotting the foot, step back and down, runner's lunge. A 3-legged dog finds a 3-legged flow. Come into high plank. Find chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. And one big breath only. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands for crescent lunge. Arms up, big breath in. Left arm wraps underneath the right one into eagle. Back leg strong, glute on, eyes forwards, chest up. Take a little back bend here. So the eyes going up is the tricky part. You just got 2 more big breaths. Nice. Chest looks forward. Unwrap your arms, reach up. Warrior 2. Back heel down. Keep the front knee above the ankle. Extend a little. Straighten the front leg and reach up. Big breath in. Back through warrior 2 on your way to side angle. Nudge the front knee out to the left a little. Left elbow to knee or hand to the floor. Top arm reaching over the head. Palm facing down. And again, back leg really strong. So a feeling of sinking the hips forward, but the front knee not really moving. Staying above the ankle. Let's take 2 more big breaths here. Back leg strong. Thigh active. Glute active. One more big breath. 2 hands to the floor, walk them down the mat, turn the front foot in, so now we're facing the side. Take a halfway lift and just bend into one knee and then the other. Shifting your body weight left to right, side to side. And then next time you head towards the back, turn the right foot back and sink the hips into Skandasana. So let the chest be heavy. Let the hips sink in first, and then you take your time to lift up the chest. Maybe hands on the floor, maybe hands at heart. But keep the front foot lifted straight up if you can. So try not to turn it in. That's doing some weird things to the knee and the hip. So as best as you can. I mean, we've all got limitations, but work with it. One final breath now. Back to the top. Walk the hands forwards. Three-legged dog. Your front foot, left foot up and out. Bend at the knee. Let's take that fallen triangle a little further. Here we go. Left knee to right elbow. Kick the legs straight out to the side. Maybe it's on the floor. Maybe it's not. Hold the hips high. Back leg is working for one more big breath. As a right hand comes down, flip it into wild thing. Turn the left leg over. Rotate. Lift. Glutes. Heart lifted. Big breath more. One big step. Left foot up between the hands. Drop the back knee. Raise the chest and arms. Big breath. Glute on, right glute. Turn to your left. Open out the arms to a T. Flip the front palm. Reach up. Hold for a second. Lift the back knee. Keep lifting up and back. Holding. Breathing. Big breath more. Windmill the hands down to the floor. Might shorten up the stance a half step, but keep it long. Straighten through your front leg and fold. Soften the shoulders. Let the left hip sink back. 2 more big breaths here. Step up, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold again. Stand tall, reach up all the way. Hands to prayer right at heart center. All right, let's do this thing. Right knee comes in. Eagle wrap the left arm underneath the right one. Take it under. Elbows lift, left glute strong. And now go slow. Send that leg out the back. Belly in. Tilt forward. T shape with the body. Back leg stiff as a rod here. Holding, belly in. Holding. And now unwrap the arms. Take your time. Reach them back. Fly like an eagle. Holding, breathing. Shoulders pin back. One more big breath. Now it's all about the core here. Belly in. Left glute squeezes. Drive the knee forward, the right knee. Hold for a sec. Hands to prayer. Point the knee down. Turn your right hand out and catch dancer. Take the foot. Left hand up. Kick and pull. Even tension between the kick and the pull. You're not pulling more than you're kicking. You're not kicking more than you're pulling. 2 more big breaths. Right glute squeezes for the last big breath. And as you're ready, runner's lunge. Hands down, foot down. It's your flow. Step your left foot back, 3-legged or otherwise. Come into high plank to find chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Down dog, hips up. Pretty immediately from there, drop down to your knees. Take the legs out in front of you. And out, nice and wide. We'll get straight into just cooling things down a little bit more. So legs out wide. We can let the heart rate settle here. Belly in, lower back lifted. Push your belly forward. So it's kind of like you're rolling on your sitting bones to then start to soften in and down. We let things settle now. So breathing, opening up. Jaw softening out. A little less, activation and determination and all that needed. Move into emphasizing softness. You keep a level of accountability on your depth. So more depth is not necessarily better. Meet an intelligent edge of sensation. It's on, it's happening. You can feel the stretchiness of it. You can feel the work involved in it. But it's not so much that it's overwhelming. And you have the opportunity to influence the mood of the posture. If you can't influence the mood, you've backed yourself into a corner. It's a little deep. So try and keep some space. The jaw softening, eyes softening, breath stretching out, and We're just down to the last 2 or 3 now. Next inhale, lift up the chest. Something fun, hopefully fun. Bend your knees like a seated happy baby. Grab the outer blades of the feet, so arms coming from the inner leg to grab the outer foot. Lift the heels up off the ground and belly in, chest up, and then start to kick any amount. Doesn't matter if the knees stay bent and you're just sort of resting there or balancing there, but if you want to kick, keep the chest pulling through the shoulders. You're trying to look for coming up onto your sitting bones rather than your tailbone, but boy, that's challenging for sure. The whole experience, the whole experience is trying to lift the chest up, and it's hard to find that balance point where you're not tipping back and you're not tipping forward, but you're feeling lifted. We just got 2 more big breaths here, so squeeze the shoulders back and drive the heels forward for the last big breath. And then soles of the feet to touch right in front of your hips. Place the heels down, lift the chest up, and then bow forward. Probably have to walk your sitting bones back underneath you a little bit. Little adjustments welcome to nestle in. Lower back extended, and then folding in. We'll try and bring some density into the shape. We just bring a little heaviness, that sense of surrender into play. It's such a tricky balance to be active, to be willing and doing something. You're expending energy, you're concentrating, all these things. But then at the same time, there's some level of surrender and letting go and allowing things to be as they are, perfect in their unattended way. And so there's this play between push and pull, yin and yang, opposites. And we, as active participants, slide in to become like the shepherd of how those 2 edges meet. And they want to meet with just a great sense of affection, a good sense of compassion and empathy. Your effort and your surrender are meeting with basically a sense of love. And there's a lot of analogy here and just a stretch on the hips, no? We'll keep on going. We'll just take 2 more big breaths, extending the exhale. And hopefully it makes some level of difference. Final big breath now. Inhale, chest lifts up. And then slowly taking the feet onto the floor at about mat width apart and dropping the knees from side to side. So taking your time, especially if you've got stickiness in your lower back. And then coming towards some kind of version of double pigeon. So left shin on the bottom, right shin on the top, somewhat trying to stack up the legs like they're parallel to the top of the mat. Another name for this is fire log pose, the 2 fire logs of my legs. If it's not working out, pull the bottom heel back, place the ankle more over the knee, keep this lifted at the top leg, and then lift the chest and start to bow forward. If it's really not happening, loose cross leg and fold. Something that I've been playing with and exploring recently, I get a little bit of tension over the back side of my hip and lower back, more towards that outer region. I found this shape, especially with your right leg on top. If your right leg's on top, you walk your hands over to the right. So whichever foot's on top, your chest is going that way into a little bit of a side bend, but trying to keep the 2 sitting bones heavy, anchor that back one down, and then just sort of explore a little bit. Now, you certainly don't have to do this. We're down to the last few breaths already. So softening the shoulders, a little bit of exploration is welcome. Last couple of breaths now. Inhale, chest lifts up, top leg kicks out to the side for stargazer, lifting the hips. If you wanted to hit the turbo button here, there is an access to fallen triangle where you kick your left leg out and hold for a breath, and then pull that leg back in and sit the hips back down. And onto the other side of that double pigeon. Other leg on the bottom, other leg on the top, lower back lifted before you start to fold in. It's all about you finding a little bit of softness with your own body. You're working on that relationship with the posture. And it's through the posture that you're building a relationship with yourself. And so kind of just using the posture as a means. It's a pathway and a grounds for practice. And this practice idea is that there's no intensity attached to it. There's nothing critical happening. It's just you and your body having a little stretch down, a little bit of movement, a little bit of playfulness. There's no one else involved here. There's no responsibility or accountability other than yourself. So here, no risk involved. Just taking breath by breath, building that receptivity to the body, building and conditioning that love affair for the body. Right in this perfect practice grounds of just a little bit of discomfort. What a perfect practice grounds for compassion. I'll take just 2 more big breaths here. Final big breath. Inhale to lift up the chest. Top leg kicks out to the side. Right hand behind you. Rock up onto the shin. Stargazer. Big breath in. If it's fallen triangle, now's the time. And then release. Plunk your hips. Roll down onto your back. We're really carving out a pathway here for Savasana. So a happy baby. If you wanted to take a twist, I think that would be really good. A bridge might be really good, but I'm just going to leave the last posture or 2 up to you. And then pretty immediately coming down to Shavasana. But do take your time to organize your body, get settled, get comfy. You might even like to take Shavasana in legs up the wall pose. You could take the rest with an inversion, legs up the wall, very descriptive. Otherwise, just laying down, getting comfy, taking a few moments here to yourself to reset. Really, take a deep breath in, long breath out, and let the body start to sink. Take as long here as you need. If you feel ready, take a nice deep breath in. Take a few deep breaths in, easy release, let some energy back into the body. And when you feel ready, have a wriggle, have a stretch, awaken the body, turn off to a side, and let's come up to a seat. Hands coming to prayer if you'd like to, and we take a moment to acknowledge ourselves and give ourselves some deep sense of love and appreciation, deep sense of gratitude for making it to the mat and taking care of our well-being. Let that feeling swell up, a deep affection for yourself and your efforts. And it's with that in mind that we take a humble bow of the head and say namaste. A pleasure and a joy as always. Hope you got the engine started. Take care. Big love to you. See you soon.